What's up, beautiful people? It's your boy Judeo, and I'm back again with a new video. Today we're going to be checking out Omar Suleiman on Israel and Palestine, and this is from the Lex Fridman Podcast. Without wasting your time, let's get to it.
You have been critical of the policies of the state of Israel, but as we've mentioned, very supportive of Jewish people. You have a lot of friends, rabbis, and Jews in general here in Dallas and across the world. What is the difference to you in that part of the world between politics and religion? So in this case, Zionism and Judaism, both terms broadly defined.
Both terms broadly defined.
So I say that because those terms, there's technical definitions and there's how they're popularly used. And so you have to be kind of, just like we said with Islamophobia, these terms they become politicized. So just generally speaking, I think Zionism has to do with politics, and Judaism has to do with the religion.
It's the great complexity, like to a lot of people, like, wait a minute, right? And you got to take that back and wonder why there are so many Zionist anti-Semites in America. And there are so many anti-Zionists who are far from being anti-Semites, anti-Zionism, that are opposed to the ideology, that are opposed to the implications of it. Look, I think that it's fundamentally secular. When you think about it, there is an ethno-supremacism. There is, I am the child of Palestinians that were forcibly displaced from their land. I've never been able to go to where my grandparents are from. I've never been able to see that land. I've never been able to access that. I have cousins that I'll never be, well, I shouldn't say never. Inshallah, God willing, I will meet them. But that I've only been able to speak through a phone, FaceTime, Zoom. I think that it's important for us to separate criticism of Israel's policies from anti-Semitism. In fact, it's an injustice. It cheapens anti-Semitism when you throw every person who is opposed to Zionism or opposed to Israel's policies in the bucket of being anti-Semites. It's wrong. It cheapens it. It doesn't do justice to it. And I think it's important for us to have a meaningful conversation about America's support for Israel.
For some reason, I feel like people who use the word anti-Semitic mostly don't even know the meaning of the word. Because if you meet people who actually know the meaning of the word, they don't tend to classify people, or they don't tend to call people that. You know, they give you a better explanation and do not throw the word around. I feel like throwing the word around just degrades the value of the word. And that is mostly done by people who have nothing to do with the discussion at hand. So it's mostly used by ignorant people, I would say. Just throwing it out there.
Listen, there are terms that are important here. So I'm going to throw out these big terms, right? Apartheid, occupation, ethnic cleansing. These are terms that are legal terms. There are objective thresholds here for apartheid, occupation, ethnic cleansing. The threshold of apartheid has been crossed according to the most respectable human rights organizations in the world. These are the organizations that you will champion and that you will use in every single other conflict to justify your own policies. But that threshold of apartheid has been passed. According to Human Rights Watch, according to Amnesty International, according to the Harvard Law Review, the threshold of apartheid has been crossed. There's a legal terminology there. Two sets of laws for two separate people. You have a displaced people that are forcibly being removed, that are being treated differently, that are stateless, that are undergoing daily humiliation, that live behind an apartheid wall, that live under a different set of policies, that are routinely bombarded, that have lost their ability to free movement, that have lost their ability to access to basic necessities of human life. There are legal definitions here. I don't see how any objective human being can read those reports on apartheid and the threshold crossed for apartheid and walk away from that and say that this is just Jews and Muslims that don't like each other. There's a legal definition here. Occupation. When Israel was created in 1948,
I feel
you
like
will
when
find
you say that, when people say that, it's because that is how much their knowledge takes them. I feel like it's easier or it's more common or more understandable for people to say Jews and Muslims fighting each other. It feels like you're conveying a message when you say that, or it feels like you're conveying a message with high simplicity for the other party to understand. But in context, it might be entirely wrong. People just communicate like that, even in everything.
many Jews who are opposed to Zionism, and I think this is important, to talk to Jews who are opposed to Zionism, and they are many, that will say that we were told that it was a land without a people for a people without a land. The problem with that was there were people there. Our ancestors, 750,000 Palestinians expelled in the Nakba, and many Palestinians that have been removed and harassed and that are treated in horrific ways. And the occupation is expanding. It is an illegal occupation. The settlements are still expanding. And the United States enables that occupation with its funding, with its unconditional support, unwavering support of Israel. And it does so in a way that completely undermines any of its claims to being a beacon of freedom in the world. Because it is in plain
What
sight
do you
now
guys think on that?
that the world can see what is happening in Sheikh Jarrah, what is happening in Jerusalem, what is happening with these expanding settlements, everything that flies in the face of any claim to wanting a peaceful solution. The children in Gaza, when I talk about dehumanization, the children that were on the face of the New York Times, which is historically one of the most anti-Palestinian newspapers in America, the faces of the children of Gaza. America and many parts of the world are now seeing it. We have been saying for a very long time, this is apartheid. This is an occupation. This is an injustice. The world needs to check it, hold it accountable. South Africa, which experienced apartheid, Nelson Mandela, Desmond Tutu, all of those that fought apartheid in South Africa said that Palestinians are living under apartheid and that the same strategies that checked apartheid in South Africa need to be used to hold Israel accountable for apartheid with the Palestinians. It's impossible for us as Palestinians to simply say that we should give up on this cause because all the odds are stacked against us. But when you have, videos coming out of the Israeli army, spewing skunk water, sewage water on worshippers leaving Al-Aqsa.
Really? There's a video on that? Is it on YouTube? I'd like to bring it so we can check it out. Yeah, this is my first introduction to this topic, so I'm just trying to understand and be objective about it. I really don't have any inputs because I'm not an expert and I'm not experienced in the field. I don't really have so much information, but if you do, feel free to share, because it's good for everybody to be sensitized on issues like this. It's necessary and it's relevant, so we need to speak on it. Yes, I'm just learning. It's my first introduction, so you can talk to us, educate us.
Far-right leaders now taking the government and the so-called only democracy in the Middle East, prohibiting a Palestinian flag being raised anywhere around. American reporters, Shireen Abu Akleh, Palestinian-American Christian reporter, Palestinian-American Christian reporter, one of the most prominent journalists in the Middle East, shot in the face, plain sight. And all the American government could say was, if it turns out that it's indeed Israel, that Israel is responsible for the death of an American journalist, then we will hold them accountable. Nothing. Not a peep. It was a shame to see that.
Was there any track record or facts to prove who shot the journalist? Because that's a big crime, whether the person is American or Palestinian, anywhere. We're all humans and life should be treated with high regards.
Happened, and it just solidified to us that whether it's a Democratic president or a Republican president, unfortunately, the support for Israel is enabling it to continue to wipe out the Palestinian population.
Okay, that's going to be it for this video. We still have like a lot of chunk in the video left. But I just brought this video so we can have a conversation and we can start a conversation and we see where it goes. If this is something you guys want to hear about or know about, then we can finish the whole video. But for now, we're just going to make it 7 minutes long. But do you think it's wrong to speak on this issue, or do you think it has to be addressed? Because usually if someone is victimized, then they really don't have a voice. So the people that are on the other side, or the objective parts, they're the ones that are more likely to help. So if they need help, then we need to speak up so people can pick up and see it, right? At least that's what I think. But for now, it's the end of this video. I don't have any inputs. I don't know what is right and what is wrong right now. If you want to share your experience on the topic, feel free to let us know. And if you want us to continue the video, also let me know. It's the end of this video. Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and I'll see you on the next one. Have a wonderful day. Peace.